Hello to all of our friends in Virgo. Sun, moon, stars are rising. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to your tarot reading, Virgo, for September 2020. That's right, it's your season. They say it's your birthday. Ba-na-na-na-na. Oh, well, it's my birthday too. Yeah. Happy birthday to our Virgo friends. Hey, and it's a saucy month. It's a month to be saucy. That's a feeling. A little bit of sass, a little bit of sauce. Maybe a little bit of extra sauce. Maybe the five senses. Taste, sound, sight. Maybe you're indulging, and that's okay. All right, Virgo, I've got your cards shuffled up. Let's cut them and get to the heart of the matter. Again, this is for our Virgo friends for the month of September, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you're new to the channel, there's lots of ways to get involved here and to see more. But Virgo, I hope you're all doing well. I wish you all the best in peace, joy, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, and wealth for all of your days. All right, let's see what's up. Ace of Wands straight up. So funny. Second reading of September. Cancer had this too. All right, this could be a lot to do with getting going, getting jump started. Now, some of the things that you've been working towards are about to kind of take off exponentially, either results or the timeline for you to jump on them. Perhaps you've made a declaration to yourself, Virgo, no more wasting time, no more procrastinating on this, that, or the other thing. This is about my relentless pursuits. This is about persistency in my relentless pursuits. So it's going to be a time for capitalization, for putting your trademark out there, for initiating some things of spirit as well. You may, for some of our Virgo friends, be finding that the initiation of new good habit is at the forefront of your mind. You're learning and putting to use a lot of these practical techniques about reworking and retraining even the mind to become more aligned with your spiritual goals and your expression of self, because it's what we're looking at for you this month. This is a bit of a harbor in the tempest. Now, if you're Virgo and you're here and you're feeling like you're struggling, you're feeling like things might be too one-sided, one way or the other, for those of you here for a relationship and otherwise, this is asking you, this is saying, don't worry, let everything else pass you by. Don't be swept up in the guilt that you may feel of your drive to your own success. Oh man, I put so much effort into this. I feel bad that I didn't make time for Susie or Johnny or Elizabeth. Don't worry. If it was meant for you to feel bad, you wouldn't have made the choices you made, and you wouldn't have dedicated the amount of your personal energy and your time and anything else that you might have sacrificed towards that one goal if you knew you were going to feel regret about it later. So if you are, it's saying release that, cast it out immediately, okay? What's helping you or hindering you this month is the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, this is situations with relationships with kids that might be evolving or changing, or that you might have to attend to. For other of you in Virgo, this could be about relationships getting started and keeping them fresh. The Knight of Cups is all about the love offering, the love opportunity. If you're single out there, this is a time it feels like you're in a desert and you're looking for a drink of water here with the Knight of Cups. Where are the people that are energetically matched with Virgo? And remember, you're not alone. This is nothing about you. This is more to do with placements and things of that nature, where finding someone that can resonate with you, not only that, but that you tolerate in all of their idiosyncrasies and things like that. If you're questioning why you're single or why things haven't been working out in relationships, Virgo, this is a good month for you to be re-engaging or reimagining yourself as a romantic person. And it comes into question of being okay, these are the things that I like my potential lovers or even the people in my life. This is the way I like to be treated. This is the way I like to be respected when I'm in situations. And then, you feel like you go above and beyond that. You're like, okay, well, I know what I like, so I'm going to do that plus more. Plus, I'm going to try and intuit or read into what they like as well. But sometimes this has the potentiality to backfire. So what these cards let me know is it's a good month for you to train your mind to take things at face value. Don't try to read too deeply into things. Keep them very much on the surface. If they have value, they will stay in your vision or in your reality for much longer, right? That Ace of Wands being there, just being like cast out whatever's there and whatever is not harmonizing with you. But at the same time is saying, if you're desiring the novelty of a new relationship, a new love, or for somebody to kind of start vibrating with you again or start feeling on the same wavelength about you again, it's about that balance. It's about being able to say, all right, well, I don't really enjoy these particular aspects of this particular person, but I'm willing to entertain them to the fact that I can appreciate them as a person. I'm going to let go of all the surface tension so that I can get down deep. It's like going into a cold pool of water when it's like you're better off sometimes just to jump in rather than go in like inch by inch by inch by inch. And so for some of you, this is about like really feeling like, F it, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to jump in. I'm just going to see where this road or this particular person takes me or leads me, whether you're going out on a date with somebody or whether you're trying something again here for the first time. Because, assessing what makes you feel good versus the things that you could potentially try that may have the opportunity to make you feel good, you'll tend to stay, I'm just going to stick to what I know. I'm going to stick to the things that I have set. But sometimes it requires a little bit more of an abstract way to make sure that, you're open on many sides, because it's not a lot of the time that it's going to be right in front of us. It's about being able to keep your head on the swivel, being able to see, what's going on over there? What's going on over here? And you may just have to slow your roll a little bit, Virgo. You may have to slow the pace down. And many of you will be doing that, I feel, this month. If you have a chance to shut off or to cut off or even just to take a few extra days away from the grind, many of you will be doing that. Okay. What's grounding? It might be, for some of you, it might be in Aries that is causing this. We have Mars going retrograde in Aries this month. So grounding is going to be very important for you. If you are prone to kind of wild emotional responses, or, you have a tendency to, not want to engage with people who are seemingly a little bit out of control or over here, over there, you may be being forced to or you may be being challenged by the universe throughout, this is going to be a large part all the way up till November with Mars going retrograde. And here it is in Aries to say, all right, we don't have to look at these things in regards to how they're going to affect the future. Let's look at these things and see how they're impacting my day today, so that it just doesn't turn into another day that you go home, you forget about it, you eat dinner, you get absorbed in whatever you love to get absorbed in to find your bliss and fall asleep and put it away. And then tomorrow seems like it could be such a chore. With the appropriate level of grounding, you can take that level of being absolved, being happy, even through the challenging moments of the day, and feeling really good. And this has a lot to do with kind of being grounded, in remaining unaffected. So, obviously knowing that you put yourself into a place where you want to experience it as the center point, as the silent witness of all that's going on. But you're not going to jump in. It's good to put your 2 cents in, but we have to put our 2 cents in for what's good right now, as well as what we think is going to be the right decision or the right choice for right now, based on the consequences of the future. And a lot of times the conscious mind will get too caught up in the effects that it's having in the future, whereas maybe to overcome a simple problem, or not having to reach out or feel too vulnerable at times to ask for certain helps or these things, maybe we can go ahead, Virgo, and just make these decisions for today. It's almost like if what's coming along for you, if you feel like you're really struggling and how the daily seems like insurmountable, and if for some of you, hopefully not very many, if you feel like with tomorrow cometh, it's like the new dread starting a new cycle. It's all about how you wake up into it. It's all about waking up, putting 2 feet on the ground, taking an extra 10 minutes in the morning just to balance, just to breathe it out and to work it out and remember deep down who you are, how precious, how beautiful, how wonderful the experience is meant to be for you. And then that way, the race to the 5 o'clock buzzer or the race to get your responsibility done so that you can get back to enjoying life, it doesn't seem like such a long haul. It doesn't seem like such a long way from here to there. And I know you can do it. Some of you have just come through like some really tough times as well. So, if kind of hunkering down and eating a bowl of Rocky Road or whatever is the thing that you go to, to help you feel better. If it is about treating those 5 senses to being like, yeah, this is living, this is why I'm doing, check that to your emotional response, being like, is this a sustainable way to cope with, things that I have to release, that I have to get rid of, Virgo, right? Because sometimes when we just start treating ourselves based on pulling off the layers, it can feel a lot better to add an extra layer than it can to get down to the root cause or to the heart of the matter. So for some of you, this means closure in a relationship. For some of you, this actually means like leaving a location. Like I see some of our Virgo friends like actually picking up and moving this month, but doing so with a lot of worry. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Ground yourself, and I know it sounds counterintuitive, but ground yourself in spirit. Be the flight, be the bird, be, Leonard Skinner style. The bird you cannot change, but where the bird goes, hey, nobody knows for sure. And it's okay to be all right with that, to embrace whatever's new, whatever's novel, whatever doesn't seem, whatever is about to come crashing down with the tower, whether it's access to this or access to that. Or it's thrusting you into a new project, thrusting you into a new city or a new way of living. That's okay. You're going to be able to cope with it. And the fact that you've seen that this was coming for a while now, or you knew that eventually that one day you would wake up and you'd have to make that change. It starts with the Rocky Road ice cream. Sometimes it starts with the extra thread count on the sheets. Sometimes it takes a night of going out and just camping out on the couch or hunkering down in a tent in the backyard or whatever, just to like really feel the pop or really feel that you are more than what you attain or that you are more than the space inside your sanctuary. It really takes that for some of you. Okay. Some of you flat out are dealing with Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer and wondering what to make of the relationship. Virgo, with Knight of Cups and now Page of Cups here crowning, you're waiting for a water sign to really like come around or to, because there's good compatibility there, but at the same time, it's like this person really irks you. You really want to kick. It doesn't necessarily have to be a water sign. Could be an Aries for some of you, but you just want to kick this person in the ass and being like, don't you know I don't like that? And that person turns to you and is just like, don't you know that I've always done that? Well, is it an impasse? Does it necessarily have to be an impasse? Or is this you beating back that old trait that you have of like, everything is just so, and everything that I've ever imagined is going to be or should be just so, right? And you say, okay, well, you know what? Let's create this space together. Let's create this new project together. Just tell me what I'm responsible for. Put it to me in ways that I can understand, right? Because if you don't maybe explain it to me, then I can't necessarily read your mind. So you may be probing, you may be prodding, you may be asking questions, you may be not only uncovering certain layers of yourself, but certain layers within your relationship. You may need to get down to the heart of the matter with somebody. If you have family members where it's like, well, you just don't talk about it because everybody feels better when you just don't talk about it. That leads to all kinds of trouble, all kinds of confusion, and sometimes all kinds of bad news. And you don't want that, okay? In the near future, and I feel it for you, Virgo. Some of you have been really struggling, and some of you are really struggling to like come to terms with, the newness or what has changed and what is no longer that you once thought maybe would always be there. That's a tough thing for the mind to get around. But eventually there is a breakthrough. Eventually there is a moment where you stand up and you say, like, these floors are dirty as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, or whatever it might be. And you step outside, you take that big deep breath of fresh air and being like, there's no way, or there's no reason why today can't be day number one, day number uno, day number first, okay? And if it's a first for something, if it's a first for you, consider that a victory. Consider that a victory of a mind. Anything that the mind concedes on and then looks back on and being like, you know what? That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so scary. That wasn't so hard. That actually thing that, it's like kids, before their taste buds evolve, they always think, well, I don't like that food, but really they haven't tried it this particular way or this particular style or in this particular recipe or fashion, and then all of a sudden they develop an affinity for that kind of food. That's kind of what's going on for you this month, Virgo, I feel. Anything novel, anything new, anything that you decide to allow that you normally wouldn't is actually a huge victory for you guys coming in, because it's turning this reversal on a 10 of swords into an upright. It's showing you the start of the signs of the phoenix rising meets the holy tree, where it's like, you know what? The only one here that's being burnt is me, and the power mentally that I give away to any kind of fear of the situation not going my way, that fear of being like, well, what if that happens, right? And then it gets you to the point where, you know what? You don't want to bring that about, but you also don't want to encourage yourself to stay away from those challenges, those opportunities for you to grow and things of that nature, okay? You've been busy. I know you're tired and you're busy and you need a rest. You need a break. You do. Take a couple days at the very least, okay? And things are confusing right now. It's all not making very much sense, whether it's other people, whether it's what people are doing in business, whether, it's even your close relatives, loved ones, and families, starting to act strange or starting to act out and things of this nature. And you're just like, I just don't need this right now. I just can't deal with this right now, Rest and recline. But the Two of Pentacles is also saying the universe isn't going to introduce a third ball into your juggling until it knows that you've mastered two. It's not that you're having to drop one so that you can focus on the other or anything. Just keep on that balance. Even though it seems confusing at times or it feels overwhelming, when things start to begin to feel overwhelming, but if you dig really deep, you can actually push through it. Remember, you have actually the resolve. You have the willpower. You have the time to dig that deep each and every day. And the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. And the easier it becomes, the less confusing it gets to being like, all right, well, maybe I'm actually not all that tired. I kicked ass today. Like I said, you were persistent in the resilience, in the relentlessness to open up these new inspirations for yourself, to open up these new institutions for yourself, to open up these new faculties, a way of thinking, a creativity, and all this kind of stuff that you choose, that you want to do, right? It feels like you're going above and beyond or having to go outside, and that's damn tiresome, or it's a damn inconvenience, or whatever it is. You don't want to let anything slip. Well, hell, you know what? Sometimes the things we're worried about letting slip the most are the things that are the least inconsequential, or are the most inconsequential things to begin with. We could learn that, if we stop caring so much, we realize to what extent it has its ability to do its thing on its own. For some of you, that might be a child. For others of you, it's like having the trust to let others pick up the project when you've maxed out on it, or when you've put enough work into it. Reversal on the Strength card here as well. So for healing, some of you just need a spa day. You just need that sweet massage. You just need like a feeling of freshness, fresh start. So whatever that might mean, perhaps you've got everything just the way you like it. It's awesome. If you can do anything you can to like walk away from that, or have the strength to put your deepest desires on hold and deny yourself the opportunity to imagine those for just a few days. Okay, think about something else. Put a different tract in. Put a different thing in your headphones. Okay, that's what it's going to take. That's going to be the refreshing point or the spark point, because of the lack, like the reversal on the Strength card Okay, it means that sometimes. Just a complete lack of conditioning. And it's nothing against you guys, because when we're searching newness, we're not sure how we should be conditioned to it. But we can't know until we've actually put in the work. And that's why I'm saying, when digging down seems tough, and if you don't have the strength that day, don't do it. But anytime you have that opportunity to choose between inactivity, becoming more absorbed into, I don't know, the weirdness of Big Brother or the Amazing Race or the amazing political world of, Morpheus, that, or actually just turning off, grabbing out a simple pen and paper, putting on your shoes and actually like driving out to a landscape and appreciating something on a very primitive level, away from the technology, away from the clutter, and away from the programming of mass media that's going to be huge for you. Okay, the quintessential Virgo card here. That's okay. To be yourself is all that you can do. And we would never ask, and the universe would never ask anything more of you than simply that. Okay? So if you want to stay there in those 5 senses and put that layer on, some of you will choose to do that. And some of you have been in that mode for a very long time. Don't beat yourself up over it. Okay? I'm just saying, if the window gets dusty, sometimes you want to clean it off and have a look and see what's going on outside. But for some of our Virgo friends, the window is far too dusty, and they're actually looking at throwing a hammer through it and breaking out and breaking through. But if you don't feel that for this month, and know, like, whatever happened back here, whether this was a relationship, whether this was a foreclosure, whether this was something just terrible that you had to deal with, except for the fact that it happened, okay? You don't have to do any of that. You can choose to cope in whatever your way, and you don't have to feel guilty for it at any point in time. It's just a friendly reminder from the 9 of Pentacles to be yourself is all that you can do. And in that, remember that you hold the key. That it's up to the choices you make. It's up to the level of inspiration that you act upon, which is going to change the future for yourself, could change your mindset along the way. And as well, for some of you, it just feels like, I wish 2020 was over. I wish things would get back to normal. Don't worry. There's a victory coming, Virgo. And it's going to be a sweet victory that's going to help things feel like, my life's work wasn't all for naught. There is a vibrant and a better tomorrow. Things get watery and we get attached to them emotionally, whether it's relationships, people, our business endeavors, things like that. We get so attached to them. And sometimes what it takes is that big ripping apart, or the having to start over, or recreate it all from scratch, that gives us the actual victory over that emotional attachment, which causes, when something outside of you suffers, you suffer because you put your energy into it. It's not your creations were never meant to be greater than you, the creator. Okay? If I know that rhymes, and it might sound silly, but there is victory coming for you, no matter what you choose to do, because you're doing it from a point of being yourself. And a big hugs, because this is at the bottom of the deck. A dirty 3 of Swords here in your overall environment is saying, like, Virgos are being woken up, and it's supposed to be celebrating on the time of their birthday. But if, for many of you, I feel like it's going through a big healing, because this has been a shaky time. The collective, you're seeing all kinds of people acting differently and getting tired and getting ready to break out of lockdown, to break into, what's on the other side of the void of all of the weirdness and the uncertainty of 2020. Don't worry, it's going to be good, but you can promote it and encourage yourself to heal, to get over having to wait for it, or the fear of not knowing what it is or when it's going to come, by engaging with it today and saying, all right, to be myself is all that I can do. If you want to layer up, if you want to hunker down and put more layers on, you can do that. It just means that you're deferring the work a lot longer down the road for your healing. If you want to rip the layers off right now, like I said, it's like jumping into that cold pond. By the time everybody else shows up to the pool party, you're going to be nice and temperate in the water, and you're going to get the laughter watching everybody else having to go what you had to go through, walking it inch by inch and freezing their knickers off, right? Or whatever it might be. So take heart. It's a good time, a good month for you to get to the core of the healing by, turning off and tapping out. If what you do, if you know that you're doing it just to feel comfortable rather than getting to the heart of the matter and really processing and feeling it and healing it when it comes to those emotions or those things that just happened in the past, you'll get it done quickly. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox now. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next month, Virgo. My heart goes out to you. Big hugs on this one. I hope you have a happy birthday, and I hope you can get a couple days just to push it all aside and get back to the real sense of who you are. Okay, lots of love.